year 6 and year 7.
What a change!
What a change. Yes.
And what a transition is it? It
Yes. So students at that time would be going through a lot of changes.
It's the first important one, I guess, for them,
Yes.
and the first one they're going to really remember.
Yes.
So it's an
Usually,
important move.
the secondary schools are much bigger than the primary schools.
More mixed. They were the oldest, and now they're going to be the youngest. So
I think it's a time of fear as well for the students because there are a lot of changes. They're not really sure what to expect.
they were in their comfort zone at school, and now it's something totally new, and new people, new teachers. Everything is very new.
So in primary, they're used to having one teacher,
As well.
one main
As
class
well.
teacher, then they do have some other subject teachers
Yes,
as
but
well.
mostly that main one. Yes, you're right.
But
And
then
now
in
they
secondary,
they have a lot.
much more subjects,
Yes.
more teachers.
Yes.
So I think students around that time would need a lot of support.
I guess so, and I think the closest people are the first to provide the support. I guess, like the family is the most important support system for them, and usually they're worried as well, the parents and the family members. But I think if you have good support at home, this transition would be smoother, I guess.
Although sometimes what happens is that parents around that time would be thinking that their children are getting older now, so they need to be more independent.
They're giving them more
Yes.
responsibility.
And they need to let them be kind of a bit more on their own. And they might not be realizing that actually around that time students need the support of their parents even more.
Yes, it is important for them to start thinking independently and start making important decisions, because this is the first decision, let's say, first important one, and they're going to have quite a few more, but they have to be there, they have to support. It's important for them to like help and be in the background and push their children forward, let's say that.
So sometimes questions I get from parents are, now that my child is in secondary school, should I let them study on their own? Because I'm not going to be sitting next to them all the time during study time.
And the learning is different as well.
It is.
The subjects are different, and I believe they still can support them, not doing their work for them, because doing the work for them would benefit nobody, because the student wouldn't be learning and the parents would be doing only harm in that case. But support is very important. Just leaving them there doing their thing is not good either. So extremes are never good. But being there and supporting all the time.
And maybe helping them to plan. Because
That is
sometimes
so
I encounter a lot of
important.
students who do not know how to study.
True, how to study, how to prepare
Exactly.
their bags as well, how
Yes.
to prepare the timetable. These things we don't think about, but it's true. For a 10-year-old, this is a major thing. This is more responsibility, preparing your bag, preparing your homework. So yes, I guess in that case, even just keeping an eye on them and seeing whether they've prepared their homework, whether they've done all they had to do, helping them maybe with some study skills as well. Parents need support as well, so they can ask for support about these things, because we don't know everything, and it's good to keep on learning.
And I think the first time you need to show the child
Yes.
how to do things,
Yes, as well.
because if they've never done it before, obviously, it's going to be difficult for them to just figure it out on their own.
Because
so
we can't assume that everybody knows,
Exactly.
and we can't assume that everybody uses the same system as well, because everybody learns differently, everybody studies differently, so we need to keep that in mind and keep an open mind when it comes to studying as well. We don't need to just read and write, for example. There are different ways of learning. What do you think about maybe support to parents as well, if the student needs more help, for example?
I think it's important as well for parents to be asking for help if they're not sure how to do things. So let's say, for example, parents are not aware of how to plan ahead, for example, with regards to studying and having so many subjects. They can ask for help themselves
Yes.
in helping, for example, the child to prepare a timetable when
Yes.
it comes to
Yes.
studying, when it comes to planning homework, for example.
These practical tips. kind of.
Exactly,
Yes. And what about maybe, I think about also students who might need some other forms of support. Again, this being such an important change for them, maybe some issues will rise which had never risen before, and that worries parents and students as well. This new subjects, new form of learning, more studying, let's say. I guess they need some support as well there.
So even in helping the student understand that maybe in the beginning they're going to find a new subject hard, and they might not be doing very well at it in the beginning. So giving that reassurance that something is new, it's okay if you are not doing well immediately
Yes.
in that subject.
You have to
know?
grasp it. It's still
Yes.
it's still totally new,
So
right?
even if you are failing, it's okay to be failing.
And it's very important to say that.
Yes.
Because we always want our children to be the best.
Yes.
And it's normal. I think everybody wants the best for their family and the people they love. But we still need to give them time to adapt
Exactly.
to this,
Yes.
all this, because it's a whirlwind of emotions as well for them,
And
I
then
guess.
giving that message that if you need help, it's okay to ask for it. Because they might be either feeling embarrassed to ask for help, and maybe in primary school they've done well, but then once they're in secondary school, the system is different and they might not be doing as well. So if they need help, encouraging them to ask for it.
Help is there. There are a lot of professionals, a lot of people who can support. Help is out there. So I think we should not be shy, and we should, for our betterment, I guess, because as parents and as children, and we need to, as you said, I agree, we need to encourage our children to speak up if they feel the need of any form of help, because it can be something small, and not speaking about it will make it bigger. And at that young age, this is also big for them, because it's all new and different. And so support is, maybe practical support is not so difficult, and if it is maybe somewhat difficult, you ask for help. There's nothing wrong.
Also, in preparing them ahead, in kind of knowing what to expect out of this transition between
Yes.
year 6 and year 7. So, for example, in taking them to see the school.
Yes,
I know
yes.
that
Exposing them most of the time, that's what they do.
Yes.
They see the new school, they know a little bit more about the new subjects. But even parents, if that is not provided, or maybe they don't feel it's enough, they can do it themselves. They
Yes.
can ask, obviously, at the best time, but they can ask and try their best to help in this transition, because especially summer, they can use summer months to prepare them for this transition and look forward to the secondary school, because it is very, very interesting. There's a lot of learning there as well.
And in staying in contact with friends as well, because
Yes.
that will help them a lot. If they're going to this new school and there are some other children that they already know, that will help them, because it will give them a bit of a sense of belonging and feeling safe, that at least I
Knowing
know
someone,
someone
knowing
already.
someone, yes,
So I
yes.
would also encourage parents, if they can keep in touch with other parents and with other children, so that they meet up, so that it makes the transition easier for them.
And knowing somebody, or knowing, at least having an idea of where you're going, is always better, because the fear of unknown, at least we diminish that. But we also have to encourage them to think about this new step as something positive, as something important, but something which will be a good experience. Never, I don't think we should make our children feel like this is something to be scared of, but something to look forward to. And I think that is the most important thing we need to do as a supportive system.
Change can bring about fear, but it can also be an exciting time ahead.
Exactly.
So we look forward to that, and we embrace the changes, and in being able to ask for support. I think that is very important. And once students can do that, and parents as well, I think secondary school can be a very exciting
Should be
time.
a very exciting experience.